What's up, coin hunters? Welcome to US Coins World, the channel where pocket change turns into treasure. Today, we're unlocking the secrets behind rare US coins that could be worth thousands, and you might already own one without even knowing it. From hidden mint marks to million-dollar mistakes, this video is packed with jaw-dropping finds. So grab your coins, and let's see what you've really got. Top 1 today. We're about to embark on an exciting journey into the world of American numismatics with a focus on a very special piece, the United States 5-cent coin, famously known as the Jefferson Nickel, from the year 1985. At first glance, a 1985 nickel might seem like just ordinary pocket change. But stick with me, because this particular year holds some extraordinary surprises that every collector and coin enthusiast should know about. If you're ready, let's dive deep into the fascinating history, rare mint errors, and incredible value that can be found in the 1985 Jefferson Nickel. The Jefferson Nickel has been a cornerstone of American currency since its debut in 1938, featuring the image of Thomas Jefferson, the nation's third president, on the obverse and the elegant Monticello mansion on the reverse. This coin has been a constant companion in everyday transactions for generations, but for collectors, it is so much more than just a nickel. It's a piece of history, a work of art, and sometimes, a rare treasure. The 1985 issue of the Jefferson Nickel is particularly interesting because of the unique minting anomalies that occurred that year, combined with the broader context of American coinage during the mid-1980s. Millions of these nickels were produced at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, along with special proof coins from the San Francisco mint. Most circulated widely and bear the wear and tear of daily use. But within these millions lies a small subset of coins that are rare, unique, and highly sought after by collectors. One of the most sought after characteristics in the 1985 Jefferson Nickel is the double die obverse error. This minting error happens when the coin's design is struck more than once with a slight misalignment, creating a striking doubling effect on the front of the coin. You'll often notice this doubling most prominently on the words "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date, 1985. The letters appear to have a shadow or ghost image, almost like a mirror reflection, which makes these coins highly distinguishable and prized. Double die errors are especially valuable because they're rare examples of mint mistakes that survived inspection and entered circulation, making them prized rarities in any collection. But the 1985 nickel story doesn't end there. Another captivating error that collectors chase is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank isn't properly aligned in the press, resulting in a coin where part of the design is missing and the metal blank shows on one side. The degree of off-centering varies, and the more severe the misalignment, the more valuable the coin tends to be. These coins are visually unique and show the complex machinery behind coin production, which sometimes goes slightly askew, creating one-of-a-kind pieces. There are also rarer planchet errors on the 1985 nickels. While the standard nickel is composed of a copper nickel clad, some error coins were struck on incorrect metal blanks or experimental planchets. These anomalies are incredibly rare and add to the intrigue and value of the coin. The uniqueness of a planchet error makes each coin with this flaw a coveted collector's piece. Condition plays a huge role in the value of any coin, and the 1985 Jefferson Nickel is no exception. Most nickels from this year have been circulated and show signs of wear, scratches, dullness, and loss of detail. But mint state coins, which have never been circulated and retain their original mint luster and sharp details, can be worth dramatically more. When these mint state coins also have rare errors, their value can multiply, capturing the interest of serious collectors and investors alike. The 1985 proof Jefferson Nickel, struck at the San Francisco Mint, is also notable. Proof coins are specially made with polished dies and planchets to have a mirror-like finish and greater detail. Proof nickels already hold higher value than most circulated coins, but proof coins with mint errors or unusual varieties from 1985 are incredibly rare and prized. Why do these errors happen? The answer lies in the coin minting process, which, while highly automated and precise, can occasionally produce mistakes. The dies used to strike coins can become damaged or misaligned, and planchets can be improperly prepared. While most error coins are caught during quality control, some sneak through and enter circulation, eventually becoming rare finds for collectors. for those who love the thrill of the hunt, owning a 1985 Jefferson nickel with one of these errors is like holding a piece of minting history in your hand, a tangible reminder of the artistry and complexity of coin production. These coins tell stories of craftsmanship, chance, and time, making them far more than just currency. Now, the moment every collector dreams about, the value. Depending on the condition and the type of error, some of these rare 1985 Jefferson nickels have been known to fetch as much as $86,000. That's right, $86,000 for a single nickel. It's an incredible example of how even the most ordinary coins can hide extraordinary value. So next time you come across a 1985 Jefferson nickel, don't just toss it aside. Look closely, examine it carefully, and maybe even get a magnifying glass to check for that distinctive doubling, off-centering, or unusual edges. You might just have a hidden fortune in your hands. Top 2. We're diving deep into a fascinating and often overlooked piece of American history, the 1972 United States Jefferson nickel. You might think a nickel from the 1970s is just another coin in your pocket, but trust me, the 1972 Jefferson nickel holds incredible secrets that can make it one of the most sought-after coins in any collection. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting to explore the world of coins, this video is going to open your eyes to the rare features, minting errors, and staggering values tied to this classic 5-cent piece. So, sit back, listen carefully, and enjoy as we explore why this small coin can hold such a big treasure. The Jefferson nickel first appeared in 1938 and has since been a staple of U.S. currency, featuring the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front and his iconic Monticello estate on the back. The 1972 nickel, however, stands out in a special way. That year, the U.S. Mint produced millions of these coins at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, but not all were created equal. Among the millions minted, a few hold special characteristics that make them incredibly rare and valuable. One of the key reasons collectors prize the 1972 Jefferson nickel is due to the existence of notable mint errors. The most famous among these is the double die obverse error. For those unfamiliar with the term, a double die error occurs when the coin's design is stamped more than once in slightly different positions during the minting process. This causes the lettering and date to appear doubled or shadowed, almost as if it were vibrating. On the 1972 Jefferson nickel, this doubling can often be seen on the inscriptions like "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date itself. This error is rare and immediately catches the eye of anyone inspecting the coin closely. Double die errors are highly desirable because they represent a tangible mint mistake that makes each coin unique. The 1972 double die nickel is especially prized because it is one of the few errors of its kind from that era that appeared in relatively significant numbers yet remained elusive to many collectors for years. This rarity has driven demand and prices higher, turning what once might have been just a pocket nickel into a prized collector's item. But that's not all. The 1972 Jefferson nickel also boasts other fascinating errors that make it a collector's dream. For example, off-center strike errors occur when the metal blank on which the coin is stamped isn't properly aligned in the press, causing the design to be struck off-center. This results in a portion of the coin's design missing and an exposed blank edge. Off-center nickels from 1972 are visually striking and extremely rare in high grades, adding significantly to their value. Planchet errors add another layer of intrigue to the 1972 Jefferson nickel. Occasionally, coins were struck on defective or incorrect planchets. For instance, some nickels were mistakenly struck on copper planchets or other metal blanks, which is a serious deviation from the typical copper-nickel clad composition. These errors are incredibly rare and highly coveted because they are like tiny time capsules of the mint's production anomalies. Collectors also pay close attention to the condition or grade of a coin, which can dramatically impact its value. Most 1972 nickels found today have been circulated and show signs of wear, such as scratches, dents, and faded details. But coins preserved in mint state, meaning they have never been circulated and retain their original luster and sharp details, are far more valuable. The combination of a mint state coin with a rare error can turn a simple nickel into a fortune. Proof versions of the 1972 Jefferson nickel, struck at the San Francisco Mint, are another prized category. These coins were specially produced for collectors with a mirror-like finish and enhanced detail. While proof coins generally have higher value than their circulation counterparts, proof nickels with mint errors are especially rare and highly sought after by numismatists. What makes the 1972 Jefferson nickel truly exciting is that these errors and rare versions connect us with a moment in American history, reflecting the technology, craftsmanship, and even occasional imperfections of the minting process of that era. Every 1972 nickel you see is more than just currency. It's a little piece of history carrying stories of the people who made and used it. So, what's the value of this extraordinary coin? The market for rare 1972 Jefferson nickels, especially those with double die errors or other minting mistakes, can be quite impressive. In fact, some of the best preserved, error-bearing examples have been known to fetch prices as high as $84,000. $84,000 for a single nickel. It's almost unbelievable. This staggering value illustrates how even the most humble coins can become priceless treasures in the eyes of collectors when rarity, condition, and history come together perfectly. If you're a collector, a coin lover, or just someone fascinated by hidden treasures, the 1972 Jefferson nickel is definitely a coin to keep an eye out for. The next time you stumble upon a nickel, take a moment to inspect it closely. You might be holding a secret gem in your hand. Top 3. We're unlocking the hidden secrets behind a coin you might not expect to be worth much, the United States 5-cent Jefferson nickel from the year 1994. It's easy to overlook nickels because they're so common in our everyday lives, but some of these small coins have stories to tell that can lead to some surprisingly big fortunes. So, get comfortable, pay close attention, and enjoy as we dive into what makes the 1994 Jefferson nickel a fascinating piece for collectors, and why some versions of this coin could be worth a staggering amount. The Jefferson nickel has been a staple of American currency since 1938, depicting Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his famous Monticello home on the reverse. It's a simple yet elegant design, and for decades, millions have been minted for everyday use. The 1994 version seems like just another routine issue, but appearances can be deceiving. This particular year holds a few rare features and minting errors that have collectors buzzing. For anyone passionate about coins, the 1994 Jefferson nickel is a coin to watch out for, especially if you like the thrill of discovering a hidden gem in your change. Let's talk about why this coin has caught the eye of collectors. In 1994, millions of nickels were produced at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Most of these coins were used in circulation, showing the usual wear and tear you'd expect. But in this massive production run, a few coins slipped through the cracks with fascinating mint errors. These errors make all the difference between an everyday nickel and a prized collectible point. One of the most sought-after errors for the 1994 Jefferson nickel is the double die obverse. This occurs when the coin's design is struck more than once, with slight misalignment between strikes. The result? Letters and numbers on the coin, especially in Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date, 1994, appear doubled or blurry, almost like a shadow or ghost image. This doubling makes the coin instantly recognizable and highly desirable. What's remarkable about the 1994 double die error is how rare it is compared to other years, making it a true treasure for collectors, but that's not the only error to look out for. Off-center strikes are another fascinating anomaly on the 1994 nickels. This happens when the metal blank isn't perfectly centered in the coin press, causing part of the coin's design to be cut off and an uneven blank edge to show. These off-center nickels are visually striking and extremely rare, especially in high grades, making them extremely valuable on the collector's market. Planchet errors add yet another layer of intrigue. Imagine a coin struck on a blank that's either the wrong size, composition, or even missing a layer. In some rare instances, 1994 nickels were produced with these planchet errors. Coins struck on defective or incorrect metal blanks are incredibly rare and often become prized collectibles because each tells a unique story of the minting process gone awry. The condition of a coin dramatically influences its value, and this holds true for the 1994 Jefferson nickel. Many nickels in circulation show signs of wear, like scratches, loss of detail, and dullness. But uncirculated coins, known as mint state, preserve their original sharpness and luster. When you combine a rare error with a high-grade, mint state condition, you get a coin that's worth significantly more than its face value. Let's also talk about proof coins. The 1994 Jefferson nickel proof versions were specially minted at the San Francisco Mint with a mirror-like finish for collectors. Proof coins generally command higher values than regular circulation coins, but when these proofs show mint errors or variations, their value skyrockets even further. Collectors eagerly seek out these error proofs because they are not only beautiful but extremely rare. Why are these errors so valuable? It comes down to rarity and demand. Coins with errors are essentially one of a kind because they slipped past quality control. For collectors, owning such a piece is like owning a piece of history, a rare artifact that captures the imperfection and human element behind coin production. The 1994 Jefferson nickel also represents a snapshot of American minting technology and craftsmanship during the mid-90s. It's a coin that connects us with the past, reflecting the care and occasional mistakes that made each minting run unique. Every coin with an error carries a story that adds depth and character to any collection. Now, for the moment you've been waiting for, the value of these remarkable 1994 nickels. Depending on the specific error and the coin's condition, some of these rare and high-quality coins have been known to fetch prices as high as $81,000. That's right, $81,000 for a single nickel. It's astonishing to think that something so small and everyday can be so incredibly valuable. This is the magic of coin collecting, where history, rarity, and craftsmanship come together to create extraordinary treasures. So, the next time you find a 1994 Jefferson nickel in your pocket or change jar, don't overlook it. Take a moment to examine it closely. You might be holding an unexpected fortune. Look carefully for doubled letters, off-center designs, or unusual edges. If you suspect your coin might be in error, consider having it professionally graded and appraised. You never know, you might have one of the rarest nickels out there. Top 4. We're venturing into the fascinating world of American currency to spotlight a coin that might just surprise you, the 2001 United States Jefferson nickel. You might think a nickel from the early 2000s is pretty common and not worth much more than 5 cents, but hold on tight, because this coin has a hidden story and some rare features that can make it incredibly valuable. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just getting started, this video will give you a deep dive into what makes the 2001 Jefferson nickel special, rare, and potentially worth a small fortune. So, listen carefully, enjoy the journey, and get ready to discover why this coin is a gem in the world of collectors. The Jefferson nickel has been a beloved part of American currency since its introduction in 1938, showcasing the third President of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, on the obverse, and his iconic Monticello home on the reverse. It's a design that has remained largely consistent for decades, which is part of the charm. The 2001 version, though, stands out for reasons beyond just its design. It carries with it some fascinating mint errors and rarities that have made collectors take notice. In 2001, the U.S. Mint produced Jefferson nickels at the Philadelphia and Denver facilities. These coins were struck in huge quantities, mostly intended for everyday circulation. However, amidst this massive production, a handful of coins exhibit unusual characteristics and minting errors that make them exceptionally rare and highly sought after. These are the coins collectors dream of finding. One of the most notable features to look out for on the 2001 Jefferson nickel is the double die obverse error. This minting mistake occurs when the coin's design is impressed twice on the planchet with a slight misalignment, causing certain parts of the design, especially lettering and numbers, to appear doubled or shadowed. On the 2001 nickel, this can show up on the inscriptions like "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the date, 2001. This error is not only rare but also highly desirable because it's an easy way to spot a coin that stands apart from the millions produced. Beyond the double die, there are other mint errors that add to the allure of the 2001 Jefferson nickel. Off-center strikes, for example, happen when the metal blank is misaligned during the striking process, causing the design to be partially missing and exposing a blank edge. Off-center nickels with significant misalignment are incredibly rare and visually stunning, making them prized pieces among collectors who love unique and unusual coins. Planchet errors are another fascinating category. These occur when a coin is struck on the wrong metal blank or a defective planchet, leading to unusual appearances or compositions. Occasionally, a 2001 nickel has been discovered struck on a planchet not intended for nickels, or with surface anomalies, making those coins exceptionally rare. Because these mistakes slip through the mint's quality control, they become highly sought after by collectors looking for something truly unique. The condition of the coin plays a massive role in its value. Most 2001 nickels found today show typical wear from circulation, scratches, nicks, and loss of luster. But coins in mint state, meaning those never circulated and with their original sharp details and shine intact, command much higher prices. Pair that mint condition with a rare error like a double die or off-center strike, and you have a coin that could fetch thousands, if not tens of thousands, of dollars. It's also worth mentioning the proof versions of the 2001 Jefferson nickel. These special collector's coins were struck at the San Francisco Mint with a mirror-like finish and extra care. While proof coins usually hold a higher value than regular circulation coins, proof nickels that exhibit mint errors or variations can become extremely valuable and are hot items in the collector community. What really makes these rare 2001 Jefferson nickels stand out is their story. They represent a fascinating intersection of precision craftsmanship and human imperfection. Each error coin is like a fingerprint of the minting process, a small window into the past showing how even a top-tier mint can produce something unexpected and extraordinary. Collectors appreciate these coins not just for their rarity, but for the history and mystery they carry. Finding one is like holding a tangible piece of the mint's behind-the-scenes story, a rare artifact that captures a moment in time. This makes the 2001 Jefferson nickel more than just spare change. It's a prized collectible with a story worth telling. So, what's the value of this fascinating coin? Depending on the specific error and its condition, some 2001 Jefferson nickels have been known to reach incredible prices in the collector's market. In fact, rare, high-grade examples with significant errors can fetch prices as high as $79,000. $79,000 for a single nickel. It's astonishing but true. This incredible value shows how something so small and common can be transformed into a remarkable treasure through rarity, history, and condition. If you happen to find a 2001 Jefferson nickel, don't just toss it into your pocket. Take a moment to examine it closely. Look for doubled letters, off-center designs, or unusual edges. If you spot something odd, it's worth getting the coin professionally appraised or graded. You might be holding a small fortune. Top 5. We're diving deep into the story behind a coin you might pass by without a second thought, the 2016 United States Jefferson nickel. At first glance, a 2016 nickel might seem like just another piece of everyday change. But listen closely, because hidden within these modern coins are rare errors and unique characteristics that make some of these nickels highly valuable to collectors worldwide. If you love coins or are just curious about what makes certain pieces stand out in the vast sea of currency, this video is for you. So settle in and enjoy as we explore what makes the 2016 Jefferson nickel a surprising treasure for collectors. The Jefferson nickel has been a constant presence in American coinage since 1938, with its familiar profile of Thomas Jefferson on the front and his beloved Monticello estate on the back. For decades, this design has symbolized American history and craftsmanship. But the 2016 version, despite being a recent release, carries some fascinating quirks that elevate it far beyond its face value of 5 cents. In 2016, the United States Mint produced millions of these nickels at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with most destined for everyday circulation. While the vast majority look ordinary and show signs of wear, a small subset of 2016 nickels feature minting errors that can turn an everyday coin into a rare collectible. One of the standout errors on the 2016 Jefferson nickel is the double die obverse. This error happens when the coin's design is stamped more than once with a slight misalignment, causing the lettering and numbers, especially Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date, 2016, to appear doubled or ghosted. This effect creates a distinctive look that immediately catches the eye of collectors. While double die errors aren't unique to this year alone, the 2016 version is particularly rare and prized because it's a modern coin that unexpectedly showcases this classic minting anomaly. Another fascinating error to watch for on the 2016 nickels is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin blank is not perfectly aligned in the press, causing part of the design to be missing and an uneven edge to appear. Off-center coins vary in rarity depending on how far off the strike is, and those with more significant misalignments are incredibly rare and highly collectible. Their unique visual appeal and rarity make them a standout for any collection. Additionally, some 2016 nickels exhibit planchet errors, where the metal blank used to make the coin has defects or is composed incorrectly. Imagine a coin struck on a wrong metal or with imperfections in the metal blank itself, leading to unusual textures or appearances. These planchet errors make for fascinating collector's items because each tells a unique story about the minting process. Beyond these errors, the condition of a coin always greatly influences its value. While many 2016 nickels in circulation show the expected wear and loss of detail, mint state coins, those that have never circulated and retain their original sharp details and luster, are much rarer. When these pristine coins also feature one of the rare errors mentioned, their value skyrockets dramatically. Proof versions of the 2016 Jefferson nickel add another layer of excitement. Proof coins, struck at the San Francisco Mint with a special mirror-like finish, are produced in limited quantities and primarily for collectors. While these coins usually have a higher value than regular circulation coins, if a 2016 proof nickel exhibits minting errors or unique variations, it can become one of the most sought-after pieces in the collection world. What really captures the imagination of collectors is the story behind these error coins. They are a testament to the human element in minting. Even with the high-tech precision of modern coin production, mistakes still happen, and those mistakes create unique pieces of history. Each 2016 Jefferson nickel with an error is like a snapshot frozen in time, a piece of the mint's behind-the-scenes narrative that collectors love to discover and preserve. If you happen to find a 2016 Jefferson nickel in your change, don't rush past it. Examine it closely for doubled letters, misaligned strikes, or unusual edges. If you notice anything out of the ordinary, it might be worth having it professionally graded and appraised. Who knows? You could be holding a coin that's worth far more than just 5 cents, and now, for the exciting part, what could this coin be worth? Depending on the rarity of the error and the condition of the coin, some exceptional 2016 Jefferson nickels have been known to fetch prices as high as $76,000, yes, that's right, $76,000 for a single nickel. This incredible value just goes to show how coins, no matter how common they seem, can sometimes surprise us with extraordinary worth. Thank you so much for joining me today to explore the fascinating world of the 2016 United States Jefferson nickel. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coins and want to learn more about hidden treasures in everyday change, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an exciting update. Happy collecting, and may your next coin discovery be as thrilling and valuable as the 2016 Jefferson nickel.